Hey there! Welcome to the Songwriter's Journal. Rob Edenbow here. This is episode number 9. I started this thing back in March and been averaging about usually two a month. I'm a folk singer and a songwriter with a bluegrass edge. This show series is about me developing my skill sets both as a songwriter, of course, but also as a musician who's getting out there for the first time and starting to play gigs and, going through the process of learning how to get gigs, that kind of thing. So this is really a journal in the truest sense. It's the story about my life in music. My last episode was shot on the cafe deck at Island Resort on Chincoteague Island down in Maryland. I don't know, it might have been Virginia I don't know. I always get that confused. All I pretty much did was sit around and play music. My son made the comment to me, he didn't think I took a vacation because I just did the same stuff that I do here at home. Key point, there was no day gig involved. There was no job. There was no nursing home. I didn't have to be a nurse. I didn't have to be on the spot. And, it was just me being me and being around family. So that was a vacation for me. But while I was down there, I set myself 3 tasks. 3 things I wanted to do for my music. And they were sending some cold emails out to venues, updating my website, and developing more relevant repertoire. By relevant repertoire, I mean stuff that resonates more with the general public. Songs that I do tend to be like stuff that's popular among musicians, Townes Van Zandt or Guy Clark, but are they the kind of things that most venues want me to do? No, they want me to do Tom Petty. So I don't have any of his songs on my repertoire yet. So I need to start learning some of that stuff. I didn't really get any of that done, I'll be honest. I did work a little bit towards those things. I did work on 4 new songs. 2 of them were Neil Young songs. One of them was a Fleetwood Mac song. Oh, the Eagles, yeah. The Eagles song is interesting. It's like 3 different strum patterns in it, and some sort of a jazz chord shows up in it. And, I do all my work solo, and they do their stuff with harmonies and multiple guitars. And it's not that it's that difficult, but it certainly at first glance looks intimidating. Definitely doable. Definitely something I can. And I've already got it memorized at this point. Down there, I just worked on it a little bit. I certainly didn't have it memorized when I left there. But a little at a time, I guess. Keep moving towards the goal. I haven't touched my website. I've got 3 nursing home gigs that I need to get the dates on the website, and I've got 2 coffee shop dates that I need to put on there. I had some professional pictures taken, and I would like to get those on the website and get not necessarily get rid of the pictures that I have now, but maybe put them in a photos section or something, but have the main pictures that you see on top of each section of the website be something that looks professional. Anyway, I did make one kind of half-hearted effort at the website last week at one of the open mic nights. I was trying to do it on my phone and discovered that the tools to modify the website, really you have to have a laptop. And I didn't bring my laptop along because you never know if the venue really has, what do they call that, the Wi-Fi. I don't know. And then what do you do with it? Is it going to get damaged? Is someone going to spill a beer on your, $1,000 computer or whatever? Not a good idea, unless you're going to sit at a table somewhere. But I usually wind up at the bar at that particular venue anyway. Anyway, as for the cold emails, while I was on vacation from my day gig, I did do some research into venues to send those emails to. Looked up their emails and did some research into what venues even have live music, where other musicians I know are playing, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Yeah, find a musician. I know musicians. I go to open mic nights there for some networking. I know who the musicians are that do stuff kind of like I do. Maybe a solo guy. Where's he playing? And then I look up their websites and try to find an email address. Usually you can find an email address on Facebook, or they've got stuff. Everybody uses that. They think it's a free website. Other subject. I'm not even going to get into that, but some of the places have a real website that they own and can control, it's more guaranteed that it'll be there for you. Facebook could be gone like that, or they could just take it away from you because you didn't pay enough for it or whatever. Here I'm digressing. I said I wasn't going to do that. Anyway, those are some of the methods I use. I made, a list of several of these places, probably about a couple dozen. I know I looked up at least 20 of them. And I've done the same thing before, probably sometime last year, and I created a spreadsheet on my laptop in a Google Docs, and I don't think I reached out to a single one of those, and that was not anything that I used during the week that I was on vacation. I looked up places. If there happens to be a duplicate, it's only because some of these places might be more prominent in the circles that I'm searching in. But I didn't send a single email while I was down there, and I've been back for at least 2 weeks now, and maybe 3, and I've sent one. I just sent it recently, like yesterday or the day before. It took a while to get me to, just do it. So there's a roadblock there, some sort of fear of sending the email. I'm good at doing research. In everything that I do with my music career, read books and educational videos and different classes you can take or whatever. And it's not the same as actually executing, putting yourself out there. Putting myself out there on the internet is a big thing. Making these videos, the Songwriter's Journal. When I first started the journal, I said I was going to do it once a week, and I did all this stuff for it. I had, a song written, I was ready to go, and I just didn't film. What's so hard about click and film, But that's the roadblock, the actual doing it. I did want to talk about the roadblocks. In thinking about what holds me back, it's not a lack of motivation. I've got the motivation. I wrote a business plan. Again, too much research, not enough doing it. It's not a lack of desire. So it's got to be some sort of a fear. And I think that fear is not knowing what I'm doing. In spite of having done the research, so I know what I'm doing, it's like I have to have done it and done it correctly to start feeling like I know what I'm doing. That's what I had to unpack. Yeah, some of the things that, the excuses I come up with. I've got yard work to do, or the dog needs a bath. I need better equipment. That's a good one. I'm not good enough. That's probably the big thing that holds me back in anything. It held me back in nursing school. It still holds me back in my nursing career today. I'm not really good enough. I don't have any experience. Uh, Self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Um, I'm not much of a talker. And even if I were to start talking, I really don't have anything to talk about. I'm not that interesting. And I really need to practice more. Those are all great excuses not to write that email and send it, huh? Anyway, so let's get to the song for this episode. The song for this episode is called Be Enough. The melody and the first few lines came in a dream. So I forced myself to wake up and go figure it out on guitar. I recorded the verse and a chorus that same morning, but then I didn't touch it again. So I did this after I came back from vacation. And like I said, I've been back for 2, maybe 3 weeks at the most. So I know it's been probably the better part of 2 weeks since this happened and I wrote this thing. Just today I made shooting this video my number one goal, and I got back on. Well, I had to go back to the voice memo that I recorded and listen to the song to see, to get the melody back in my head, and played it through a couple times on the guitar, and verse and a chorus. I said, all I ever committed to with this video series was doing a fragment, something to share, something new. And it's not supposed to be edited and rehearsed. It's supposed to be raw. Is what I've always called it. And I took a look at it and said, okay, this is good enough. I can do this. But it definitely needs to be written. The song is good, and I should complete it. It shouldn't be tossed out at this point. So I revisited it today, and got to writing, trying to write a second verse. What I was doing was strumming the chord progression and just singing gibberish, really. I tried a couple different lines. It wasn't fitting. I was really kind of like staring at the proverbial white page, which is really when I do my best work. I know folks have that fear of the white page. I don't fear that. That's what I want. That's where I get my good stuff. Anyway, out came this line about doing shadow work. Like, where the friggin' frack did that come from? That's not usually part of my normal vocabulary. Obviously, I know it. I know it relates to this, so I've heard it somewhere. So I had to go and look it up, and turns out it is a concept in psychology. It's more than a concept. It's a whole procedure. There's tons of information about it, and it's a popular practice. But what it goes back to is the famous psychologist Carl Jung. While he didn't necessarily invent it, he brought it to popular Western culture. And it probably already existed in Western culture, like in the Native Americans had it. And it's about shadows. So what is a shadow? The shadow is the unconscious or disowned side of your personality. So as I'm interpreting what little I read while looking up what I had already talked about, it's kind of weird, isn't it? That's songwriting for you. It's like you're processing some cosmic energy or something, the shadow is something you're deliberately suppressing or repressing, however you want to look at it. That's something you're embarrassed about or ashamed of. These are things that start in childhood, and they create roadblocks for you in life, obstacles that, like me, why fear of sending the damn email, that kind of thing. So, it was perfect. Now, I wasn't coming up with more than, any kind of really lines or poetry. I wasn't where I was today. I wasn't in the poetic frame, but I had this thing that came out somehow and it needed to be explored. So in doing some research, I came up with, okay, this is what it's about, and these are the kind of lines that need to be in there. And so some of that, the second verse isn't so much that I feel like I wrote it, even though I put this stuff together, but I came up with the words from different things on the internet, really. Um, some of them might even be cliche and a little silly, embarrassing. I don't know. But it needed to be written. It was coming out of me. And it didn't come from the internet. It came from somewhere else while I was just playing my guitar. It's pretty far out. Anyway. So this is the part where I'm planning to do my my song. Let me find my guitar pick here, and we'll sing it for you here. Like I said, I really just revisited this thing today and got to sing it again. So this is perfect. This is the way I always wanted this Songwriter series to be, sharing this music in this fashion. Oceans we have to sail, wheels are very small, swells toss us like nothing, though we carry on this way, and the vastness of the great expanse makes for an easy excuse. There are moments of stillness among the gently rocking waves. There's clarity in the night. You ever open your mind, you'll find your way by the stars. Got to believe it's true. The only thing you must do for you or anyone else is be enough. Doing shadow work every night, clearing my barricades, remembering how I built them, accepting and overcoming. There's nothing ugly in me. I am a beautiful soul. Believe in yourself and trust yourself. You deserve to be happy. In touch with myself, embracing all of who I am. Knowing I've got so much to offer, now I'm ready to jump to the stars. Be enough. You've got to believe it's true. The only thing you must do for you or anyone else is be enough. All right. So yeah, one of the things I noticed when I was writing the script early, and since I've been kind of off track, looking more at the camera than at what I've written here, there's a pronoun issue. That's a typical songwriter mistake. Um, I don't think you'll find too many songwriters that would argue with that. A song should be pretty consistent. Who's talking and who they're talking to should be crystal clear. You shouldn't say I and then turn around and say you and then say we. Who's the narrator? Is it me? Is it a third party person? Who's the subject in this song? These things should be clear. And how you're communicating it, you should stick to one. So I don't know if this song will ever turn out to be a performance number or not, but it does need. I, honestly, I don't know if I'll touch it again or not. I kind of like it. It's got some potential, and I really like that I came up with some stuff, how it came to me, the story behind that. So, this would be pretty cool to at least finish the song. I don't know what it needs yet. There's some things about how the bridge, if you will, or pre-chorus. It's probably a pre-chorus. It's the same chord progression as the verse. The pre-chorus, I raise my voice, not in terms of volume, but in terms of pitch. I'm climbing, which gives it this climactic effect, and then the chorus is low. I'm singing about going to the stars, and then be enough. That contradiction there, contrast is the word I'm looking for. Is I'm not sure if I like that or not. We'll see. After I do it, if I actually start practicing it and working it up, I might love it. But those are the kind of things I think about anyway. I'm noticing some recurring themes in the songs that I am writing during this songwriting journal thing. But those recurring themes would be dreams, overcoming roadblocks, believing in oneself, self-affirmation. Anyway, that's the fascinating thing about building in the air. You figure out what you're building and how it works while you're falling. Anyway, thank you for being with me today. It's been fun to do this video. Please give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate having you as an audience. So until next time, love and peace.